SDSS Log Viewer is an interactive visualization tool for visually exploring SQL query logs, in particularly for the Sloan Digital Sky Survey SQL query logs. Analysts will first see the timeline view, which illustrates the overall SQL traffic of the SDSS from the year of 2003 to the most recently logged date. Traffic can be viewed in 3 time units, including a day, a month, and a year. Hovering on a node triggers a tooltip that shows the time of the node and its corresponding frequency. Analysts can drag both vertical and horizontal slide bars to adjust value ranges, or drag middle of 2 slide bars to view traffic in a fixed value range. Once analysts find an interesting traffic time, they can download the log data of the time from SDSS traffic site and load it into the tool. When the log viewer scans, processes, parses, and renders the log data, analysts can view the processing status in the system status bar. In order to manage rendering time and increase interactivity, the system divides a large log file into a set of blocks. Each block contains 50,000 queries. Analysts will see visualizations of 1 block at a time. They can navigate among these blocks with the navigation button. Visualizations of SDSS SQL logs are shown in SQL Content panel. The SQL Content panel has 4 components: a SQL Content view, a sky map view, a basic statistics view, and a dynamic query menu appearing when dynamic query button is clicked. The SQL Content view visualizes the textual contents of queries. Each line in this view represents a SQL query. These lines are vertically aligned along issued time. Hovering on empty space will show a tooltip which explains the meaning of colors in a line. Hovering on a line will show a tooltip which lists the detailed information of the query that this line represents. The sky map view visualizes spatial information that was specified in queries, including circular areas and rectangular areas. Analysts can choose to view rectangular areas only or circular areas only. Adjusting transparency slider can help to reveal the overlapped region. Hovering on an area will show details of the query in a tooltip. Zooming and panning operations enable analysts to view certain sky regions in detail. The statistics view visualizes distributions of categorical attributes in SDSS SQL logs. This tree map layout displays the amount of queries in each attribute values. A drop-down menu helps to choose the attribute to be viewed. Hovering on a node will show details in a tooltip window of the attribute value. By using the dynamic query menu, analysts can filter out queries with certain attributes. The dynamic query menu contains a set of filters, including range filters, select filters, and redo filter. Set attribute values in the dynamic query menu will immediately affect other 3 views in this panel. Only queries with the set attribute will be displayed and interactive. Labels in SQL Content view and Sky Map view will show how many queries meet the selected attribute values. The first case is about making sense of million query days. The traffic overview in the unit of a day clearly illustrates a few million query days. The first one is in December 6, 2007, and then October 22, 2008. The third is a few days around March 8, 2009. So analysts load in log data of these days. In December 6, 2007, one IP address dominated the day. Around 96% of queries were issued by this IP address only. When choose to show queries from this IP address only, it is clear that these queries are in the same structure but different parameters. The other blocks of data in this day show the same dominator and the same queries. SDSS analysts observed that this query had violated an SDSS query policy, so they used the arrow status filter in dynamic query to check queries without arrows. It turns out that only a few thousand queries in the day were actually executed. The success rate is around 3.4%. The second million query day has the same pattern. The same IP address issued this million query days in same structure but different parameters. This time, the query asks for more columns than the first million query days. A similar pattern also appeared in the third million query days. This time, the IP address has changed to another institute at the same city as the one in previous 2 million query days, but their success rates are similar. Now we show a few models of high traffic makers. Some users scan a very large region on the sky piece by piece with tens of thousands of queries, each of which specify a small sky area. Here shows one example who scanned the entire northern sky with 250,000 rectangles in May 4, 2006. We show a few blocks of these 250,000 queries. Another common model of high traffic maker is search query, which focus on SDSS mapped areas only and normally have complex SQL condition strings, like the visual pattern shown in the SQL content view.